Hello, everyone, and welcome back to World Class Stamp. In today's episode, we'll be going through 2005 to 2015 best teams of the decade during this time period. Without further ado, let's kick it off. Steve, what was your team for the 05 to 15 period?
Yeah, so I'll start with the goalkeeper, and I'm going for Petr Cech. And the reason I've picked Petr Cech is he's the all-time clean sheet holder, I believe, gents, in the Premier League. Um, and just what an absolute consistent longevity and yeah, the odd mistake as goalkeepers do, and you remember them, of course, because it usually ends up in a goal. But it was unreal for Chelsea in that period. So yeah, he goes in as my keeper. And then we're looking at I'll go in the left back position. That's Ashley Cole. So he was at Chelsea, wasn't he? I think for the pretty much the whole of
Oh,
this era, bar maybe
yeah,
one season.
yeah, oh five, oh six, I think. Oh six,
Yeah,
I think you went with them 05, oh 06 at least.
yeah, and that's when he picked up that nickname, Cashley Cole. He obviously got a nice big bumper contract, deservedly so. What a player! Aggressive up and down that left hand side. Wasn't massively technically minded, but I just was just absolutely more or less a brick wall in that position. So across to right back then. A couple of choices here. Gary Neville springs to mind. He didn't quite see out the era. I've gone for Branislav Ivanovic, which might surprise you both there, but I think again Chelsea in that era they were pretty solid. He popped up with quite a few goals for Chelsea. I think he was in the 20s in his appearances through that era, and again just absolutely solid. Tall, strong, muscular type right back, not up and down that right hand side, and then across to the centre backs. So I've gone Nemanja Vidic from Manchester United. So another one in that Yak Stam sort of category. Just brutal in the tackle, just aggressive. Not many players got around him. Do recall a Fernando Torres moment back in the day where he made Vidic look a little bit silly, but Torres in his own right was a top player. But yeah, I think Vidic goes down as one of the best centre backs the Premier League has ever seen as well. So he's there for me. And next to Vidic, I've gone Rio Ferdinand. So yeah, as I've said, ball playing, just quite a nice silky centre back. Probably one of the, I wouldn't say one of the first, but certainly early on, there wasn't many who could centre backs who could play this way and get the ball down and be a good passer, be comfortable receiving it from the goalkeeper under pressure, etc. So he gets in there for me. Moving into the midfield then. So I'm playing a 4-4-2 here. I've gone for Cristiano Ronaldo. So I think that's a pretty obvious one, to be honest. What a player. Well, all-time great this guy became. Uh, I've never heard or seen, over the years of hearing about him, a player that worked so hard to get where he's got. I mean, I wouldn't say obviously he had natural ability, but not any Messi type of natural ability. But yeah, what a powerhouse. Both feet, head, anything. He can score goals with anything. So he's there for me. Then I've gone for, on the other side, Gareth Bale. The guy was absolutely rapid. Remember him just blitzing past player after player. And some of the goals he scored with that left peg. I remember one against Stoke, I want to say, just on the inside left channel. Ollie, I'm sure his leg was practically up by his shoulder when he volleyed it and just went straight in the top corner. What a player. So Gareth Bale. And then the two in the middle for me, it's Frank Lampard and Steven Gerrard. Frank Lampard, start with him. Mentioned him in an earlier episode. Goals, goals, goals. The guy just turned up in the box at the right time. Boy, he could finish like a top striker of any era. Just had that knack of sticking the ball in the back of the net. And then moving on to Gerrard, similar. Box to box runner, slightly different player to Lampard. Scored more score of great goals rather than a lot of goals. I think it's probably fair to say with Steven Gerrard. Captain fantastic, led Liverpool single handedly to that Champions League. And unfortunately, towards the end of his career, that big moment he'll get remembered by, I'm sure, by a few, but I'd like to remember him by some of the absolute wonderful goals he scored. FA Cup final springs to mind against West Ham. That's my keeper, back four, and midfield. And then up top, I've gone for. This one is Wayne Rooney. Could not leave this guy out. Adapted the way he played over his career. He's more or less a sort of number nine, I think, when he first came onto the scene, and broke record after record for club and country. So yeah, what a player in that era. And then alongside him, I've gone for Didier Drogba. So he didn't quite see out the entire era, I don't think, but some 100 odd goals, I think, if not 100 bang on, but some important goals. Golden Boot winner in that era, massive goal in the Champions League as well. So he gets in for me, and I think that's a pretty solid 11 there, gents. So I look forward to hearing yours.
I think some really good choices there. Couldn't really argue with a lot of them. I'm going to go next because I think I got like 8 of your 11. So there's not much change there for me.
There's a lot of crossover from the previous side you've done. So the ones I have chosen in the previous era that might have gone into this squad. As I said, if you probably named 2 or 3 I stuck in my previous squad, I've actually changed the player this time around just to squeeze him in.
I've done the same thing as well, but the back 5 are all the same: Cech, Ivanovic, Vidic, Rio, Cole. In midfield, I've gone for the 4-3-3. I know you guys don't really like putting defensive midfielders in. My defensive midfielder for this was Claude Makelele, probably the best defensive midfielder the Premier League has seen, in my opinion. And then kind of as a centre mid alongside him for passing ability, I've gone Xabi Alonso. He played amazing for Liverpool, really had a good partnership with Gerrard, and went on to play for Real Madrid and Bayern Munich and won countless trophies, and by all accounts he's a really good manager at the minute as well. And then the 3, I've got one up front, but the 3 behind the striker, so I've gone Ronaldo, I've gone Lampard, which you've mentioned, but instead of Bale I've gone Eden Hazard. I think he's...
You left Bale out for Eden.
Yeah, I think Bale's peak wasn't in the Premier League. I think his peak was for Real Madrid. That's my opinion.
Has play that many seasons in that 05-15 era? I'd be interested to know, actually.
He played for Chelsea between 2012 to 2019. Okay. He played 245 appearances with 85 goals. Bale only played for 5 seasons at Tottenham, but a couple of them he was kind of left back, and he didn't really play the first couple of seasons he was there. Kind of come to his peak for about 3 seasons at Tottenham, and then got his move to Madrid, where he was kind of at the peak of his powers, helped win him Champions Leagues before his injuries. And up front I've gone Rooney as well. Yeah, it's pretty much exactly the same bar 3. Rooney is... You could have had Drogba, Torres, Suarez. There's a whole host there's a whole host of players there, but Wayne Rooney, that was pretty much his time period, 2004 to 2017. 393 appearances, 183 goals. Yeah, he's obviously one of the best strikers the Premier League have seen. So and lots of titles. And one of the other things that influenced my team as well was the fact that the winners of the Premier League were Chelsea, Man United, and Man City during that time period. It's pretty much a Chelsea, Man United combined team, with the exception of Xabi Alonso. But that's my team. How about you, Matt?
Right. So the goalkeeper was a tough one for me. I couldn't separate them really. I'm gonna give the nod to Edwin van der Sar.
Oh wow.
He won between him and Cech. I think van der Sar's won more leagues, won the Champions League. I know Cech did as well. So I think he was more consistent. Over a couple of clubs in the Premier League. He just about gets the nod with appearances. I don't think the guy was injured for his whole career, or it seemed like. I've gone for my right back. I thought I might be the only one who had him, but Ivanovic. I think he played over 300 games for Chelsea, over 270 games in the league, scored around 20 to 30 goals in his career. As soon as he got settled in, there was no bumping out the side really. Go for Ivanovic there. I've gone for Rio at the back. So I know, Steve, you think you put him in yours. Did you put him in yours, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the partnership So Rio, obviously, you said he ball playing from the back, composed, really fast, could get goals in the air. Yeah, part of a great, it was a golden era for Man United, winning title after title, and he was, very much the heart and centre of that. So Rio gets in for me, and it's over Vidic. I think there's only one man. He's probably the first pick out of all the defenders on this team sheet is John Terry. He's yeah, club legend for Chelsea, as we all know. Maybe not, from what we see in the papers, maybe not the nicest of people, but we're talking about football ability here. Probably the first defender out of all these on the team sheet. Score goals, win games, passing ability, great distribution, tracking back, recovery, everything. He didn't get troubled by many people. There's only one man who should go in there here, but he made my last squad, and that's Ashley Cole, left back. But I've put in Patrice Evra. He was part of the same winning side of with Rio. And a few other Man United players I've put in. Mr. Consistent, not the greatest, left back of all time, but reliable, durable, had a mentality to win. I did see a stat that made me think maybe not to put him in, but I think he's the only man to ever lose 4 Champions League finals. He's been in 5. Even to get to 5 Champions League finals, you've got to be a decent player, haven't you? So he gets in. Midfield then, going for the Welsh Wizard, Gareth Bale, stuck fear into defenders, unplayable. That's why he got sold as the Wolves' most expensive player at the time to Real. He only needed 3 seasons at his peak because that was enough to reach the pinnacle, if you like. Internationally as well, but even in the Premier League, he goes straight in. I picked the same defensive midfielder. I do struggle picking defensive midfielders, but this one has got to be Claude Makelele. Few titles with Chelsea. The position was really named after him. We need a Claude Makelele in this side, which is like a sweeper just in front of the back 4, clean up everything, 2-yard passes. All the faster players can break away. Interceptions, he'd intercept everything as well. It wasn't just about making tackles. He could read the game inside out. And I've gone for, I can't believe I put him in a way, but he does deserve to, just on his, he was another one of those players which didn't do, didn't get the limelight. Didn't get the limelight. Michael Carrick, he won 5 or 6 Premier Leagues with Man United. He was just consistent. You can't go get the medal haul. It's just unbelievable.
You're struggling with this.
No, I put him in over a few others actually, but like you said, I think he's dominated with Chelsea, Man United players this era. There was no other better midfielder contributing to titles than Michael Carrick, and I think the stats showed that when he wasn't playing for United, they would consistently drop points. And then when you put him in, they go on a 20-game almost a winning streak. And at the end of the season, they're lifting the Premier League. So I think for stats alone, I put Carrick in. So that's my midfield 3, 4-3-3 I'm going. Obviously got right wing forward is none other than Ronaldo. Just got to say his name. There's no other, no point going through his pros and cons because, they're mainly pros in world-class footballer. So we've got Ronaldo, we got Wayne Rooney. His vision was unbelievable. Goal scoring. He dropped deep to win the ball. If his side were up against it, you'd see him like right back to try and get the ball, trying to do the Roy of the Rovers. And he, most of the time he get up the pitch and either create a chance or do a Hollywood ball and pay off. So just an unbelievable player. Rooney, Ronaldo, and my left wing forward, a controversial player, but Luis Suarez makes it in for me for Liverpool. I think he scored 60 or 70 goals for Liverpool, and he got snapped up by Barcelona. Some players only need 2 or 3 seasons in the Premier League to cement their legacy.
Is the word.
And he's one of them. He's some of the goals he put in were just out of this world. So Suarez gets in.
Okay.
And that's my 4-3-3.
Well, I'm not having that Michael Carrick is better than Xabi Alonso. No way. But there
How
we
many
go.
Premier Leagues did Xavi... This is the Premier League side. How many Premier Leagues did Xabi Alonso win?
He won the World Cup. He won the Euros and he won the Champions League with 3 different clubs, so he's a better player.
There's a player we've missed out that would have got in ahead of both of those for me, and that's Yaya Toure. He was close for me, and Cesc Fabregas.
I did put Yaya Toure penciled in as well, but I think Carrick beat him. Literally, only beat him on the amount he won.
Okay. And out of your team then, Matt, how many of them gets the world class stamp?
Right then. So I put Van der Sar in goals. I'm gonna give him the world class stamp. Van der Sar definitely gets the world class stamp. Left back, Patrice Evra. Ooh, this is tough. Would you give Van der Sar the world class stamp?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he gets the world class stamp.
Yeah,
I would say so. What about you, Steve?
I would.
But yeah, definitely gets the world class stamp for me. So yeah, you're saying about Patrice Evra.
Patrice Evra. This is tough. This is tough. Maybe his playing style. Probably not. Almost.
81 caps for France.
Probably not. He's consistent, but not out of this world. A bit like, I suppose, like a Gary Neville type player.
Oh my God, that's a terrible comparison.
Consistent, but I just.
Sorry, Patrice.
Patrice Evra is a little bit like Gary Neville. You need to that is the next short for the channel. Okay, what about the rest of your back line?
Rio, yeah, Rio gets it. Yeah, Rio and Terry both get the world class stamp.
Ivanovic.
Ivanovic. I don't like left backs or right backs, do I?
Don't tell me he's not getting a stamp.
It's tough. No, but I will give him. Just creeps in the world class stamp. He probably could get into most squads, of that era. Consistent. Go to Michael Carrick now. So he's in the squad, but doesn't get the world class stamp. Go to the left then. Bale.
You mentioned Ivanovic, actually. Just a quick stat there. He scored more goals than Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick 17 goals. Ivanovic 22.
So we go Bale. Bale gets the world class stamp. Obviously nailed on. World class star, superstar of football, not just a star, superstar. And then we go to Makelele. I struggle giving out defensive midfielders stamps.
You said it yourself. They named the position after him.
I know. They named the position after him.
Signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yeah, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it.
I feel like I'm persuading you here, so maybe I'll just I'll make your mind up.
And then the front three, Rooney, 100%. Ronaldo, Suarez. That front three is menacing. That's just probably unplayable. If they're all hitting top form, you might as well just pack up the net and go home and just give them the 3 points because you're not winning that. Yeah, world class stamp for those three.
Okay, well I'll go next.
Suarez on your sides, but you agree with the world class stamp?
Yeah, world class, 100%. He got. I think he was at his peak at Barcelona. With that kind of front three of Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. What a strike partnership that was. Came to Liverpool, tore up. He's a world class player. Yeah. Only reason why he didn't get in my squad is because I put Rooney ahead of him. I'm gonna go next, and I think it'll just be easier for me to name who doesn't get the world class stamp because 10 of my 11 are getting the world class stamp, but the only person who's not is Nemanja Vidic. I just don't think it's quite world class level. Cech, Ivanovic, Rio, Cole, Makelele, Xabi Alonso, Ronaldo, Lampard, Hazard, Rooney all gets the world class stamp from me.
So, what would you say about John Terry? Would you give John Terry a world class stamp?
No, I don't think he's world class. He's kind of didn't really have the pace for me. I think Rio was the better defender, and he didn't have the distribution either, which is one of the reasons why I didn't give Vidic world class stamp. And for me, Terry, for a centre back, one of the things that I look for is, does he elevate the player alongside him? And I don't think Terry elevated anyone alongside him. He had a really good partner in Calvario, who was a great player, and they had a good partnership, but I don't think he particularly elevated anyone alongside him like Rio did, because Rio was alongside Vidic, kind of made him a better player.
So John Terry's not going to get the world class stamp from yourself?
Not from me, no. That's my opinion. But
How many beers have you had tonight, Anton? He is 100%.
No, doesn't get it for me.
He is 100% world class, that boy. But there we go. That's my opinion. And I've got maybe another issue with your side with the world class stamp.
Go on in.
Eden Hazard. I
Yeah.
don't think. For me personally, Hazard. I even
Not world
said
class.
before he
Eden
went to
Hazard.
Real. Before he went to Real,
No.
I don't think he'll do much. I think he's overrated. He has good bursts, especially against, he scored a lot of goals for Chelsea, but I don't think they were ever in there against the big boys. Where it mattered, he'd smash in three against, maybe some, mid-tablers or further down the league. But I thought he was overrated at the time. He went to Real, and even for Chelsea towards the end. Oh no, not towards the end. During spells in his career, he went off the boil, and I think even with going to Real, he's obviously nosedived. So
He was.
yeah, I wouldn't give him. I wouldn't give him world class.
He
I
was.
give it,
I think the
top
big
player.
point
He's
for
a
me
top player.
He was finished by the time he went
is
to Madrid, but I think he definitely had those winning moments for Chelsea, turning games and hat tricks all over the place, assists. Cracking player. For me, yes, world class stamp. But yeah,
I'm more interested in how he was picked off literally what three seasons in that era. Um,
no,
that's more surprising to me
he played
than
more than that. Well, 3 seasons between 2012 and 2015. I
yeah.
think that's when he's at his peak, right? When he first came
Well,
to Chelsea.
you reckon? Yeah, I don't, but yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Look, Steve, are you not giving him the world class stamp? I'm not. I
Um,
100%. He's a top player on his day. Turn of speed, agility, consistency. Probably not. In the big games, yeah, he scored something in big games, but I just don't think he was consistent enough, and he doesn't get it from me, basically.
he definitely had world class seasons, but just going back to my definition, longevity, consistency. Yeah, of course he won games on his own. He was absolutely unbelievable in some performances and some of the goals he scored. But did he do it for long enough and consistent enough? Not quite enough for me. No, he doesn't. He wouldn't get it for me either.
Okay,
Well, yeah, he had his best
Alonso,
season in
Alonso.
14-15, so 19 goals.
Yeah, great season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me,
So
he's world
in
class.
terms of my world class picks, then I'm going to give all of my team the world class stamp, which is quite unusual for me. But I think I look down that list and I think consistency, longevity, and just to go back on your point about Vidic, I think he made some defensive, massive defensive decisions, tackles, interceptions, headers. Just literally body on the line. I mean, his nose was in more places than Matt's. So,
Yeah, that's some places.
so yeah, Ivanovic was another sort of iffy one, but I look back at his stats and he scored some big goals. I think for Chelsea, some big headers. 20 odd goals. A few of them are bound to be some massive game-winning, saving goals. So yeah, all of them they can have it.
Yeah, so who did you have? A Czech at the back, new Czech, Ivanovic, Rio, Vidic, Ashley
Yeah,
Cole. In
yeah.
midfield was Bale, yeah.
Ronaldo, Bale, Lampard, Gerrard, Rooney, Drogba.
Ooh, Drogba. Yeah. Yeah, you got to give him full class. Yeah, no, he was. He was big game player, world class.
Yeah.
Didn't Suarez snuck in for me. Just the type of goals, I think, for me, basically a type of threat. But yeah, Drogba was phenomenal.
So what about Xavi
Yeah.
Alonso then, Matt? Does he get the world class stamp for you?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
He's just like you said, he had a great partnership. He just the way he moved the ball, he had his own style. Like I said, that goes as part of my world class stamp. Yeah, agenda. He had his own style. He was slick. His through balls are amazing. Yeah, he's part of a successful side. I know they win the league, but I think they won everything around it. Yeah, he was a top notch player, so he does get it for me.
Okay.
How about yourself, Steve?
Yeah, he doesn't. The name doesn't sort of too much for me when you hear it, I guess. But maybe that's because he's a Liverpool player, or was mostly in that era, yeah. But I think he was in that Spanish era where there's so many good Spanish players. There's him, there's Fabregas, Cazorla, there's Mata. But I think he did make Liverpool a very good outfit in the middle of the park with that partnership with Gerrard, and they
You
complemented each
you
other
mentioned that
really
era
well.
of Spanish players. In 2010, played every single game in the World Cup and helped Spain lift the trophy. He left for Real Madrid at that point, but yeah, obviously to be in the era of Xavi, Iniesta,
Yeah.
Alonso, to keep out so many other great players, Biscuits, Cazorla, like you said, yeah, lots of great players. Okay.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
like I said, he was penciled in for me, along with Yaya. But with Alonso, obviously, this is a Premier League side if we're talking. So unfortunately, they just didn't get over the line. Now, one season they finished second. You know, they had definitely three world-class players in our Liverpool squad when Benitez was there, and they should have won it. We all know they should have. But don't slip now. That was the
Yeah.
message. That wasn't
Okay.
heeded.
All right, guys. Well, that's the end of this episode. Let us know what you think in the comments section. Any players that we missed out, any players that you think are world class that we said that weren't, or vice versa. If you enjoyed the video, please consider dropping a like. And if you want to be notified for new videos, consider subscribing to the channel, and you'll get notified for when the new videos drops. But that's it for this time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.